Welcome back for another episode of Talk About It with Tai.
And Kiki.
And for today's episode, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We are going to be having a little AMA section, little question and answers. I got different comments and questions from people online, so we put them all together and
we're going to go for it.
We're just going to go for it. So let's sit back. Let's talk about it.
All right. So I think being on Destination X, watching you was so amazing.
Really?
I loved it.
Aww.
Watching your TikToks.
Yeah.
About when you rewatched it, like I started crying.
Oh.
It touched me because I'm like, they did my girl bad.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And rewatching it back, it did make me emotional because it made me go back and just feel in that moment
all the feelings,
all the emotions that I was feeling, and a lot of it was also confusion. It's like, wait, how the hell did I end up here? You know, like what happened? How am I off this bus with Jeffrey? So it was like a lot going through my mind at the moment and trying to piece together like why did they, put together this whole scheme against me?
I know, to play you.
Yes, right.
So, well, let's get into some questions.
Let's get into the questions.
Let's see what the people want to know.
Yeah.
All right, this is a good one. So, are you sorry you didn't go with your gut feeling with when the destination wasn't Germany or Brussels?
Okay. Am I sorry I didn't go with my gut feeling?
Are you sorry? So when it came down to the decision between Germany and Brussels, are you regretting your choice to not go with your gut?
A little bit. I did kind of regret it just because my guess was Germany. I thought we were in Germany. So in going with Brussels, I feel like that was kind of like a little stroke to their ego that their blindside plan worked against me. So in a way, like I did wish that I would have went out because of my own choices, like my own decision and trusting myself. I didn't know it was Amsterdam, but at least I would have felt like I went out and it was like my fault, like I put my ex in the wrong place.
But I think if you had listened to your gut, you would have stayed regardless because in that one specific rule change, you just had to be in Germany. Regardless of the fact, because Biggie would have been sent home.
No,
right?
that one was the Netherlands. That was Amsterdam.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
It was the same one?
No. Germany was the next stop after I got eliminated. So I got eliminated in Amsterdam, and then right after that, they went to Munich.
And that means this is wrong.
Yeah, I think with that question, I didn't edit the questions at all. I didn't edit the questions at all.
So, because the question says Germany or Brussels, so that's why I'm like.
It's just the question.
It's just the question.
All
right, so regardless of where you were supposed to be,
yeah,
it was about the gut. So
it was. So I do regret not trusting my intuition enough because I knew that Brussels was wrong, and I explained it on the show. I was like, I know that diamonds, like what they were telling me wasn't true. So I feel like if maybe I would have leaned into my intuition more, that would have drove me to have more conversations with other people and try to get to the bottom of it, or within my own head, try to rethink about the clues in different ways. So yeah, I do regret not just in general, not trusting my intuition. I feel like that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned playing on the show.
Okay. I think you should have went with your gut too.
Yeah.
But we live
in other people. I know.
Live and we learn. Next time we play a game, we play for ourselves.
Yes, absolutely.
No girls.
No girl. Maybe no alliance. Okay, I won't be extreme,
but it will be a thought that crosses like alliance or solo play, because.
Or alliance. How am I going to define alliance moving forward? How do other people define alliances, and how do they move within alliances? So that's something else. See, it's deep. It's deep.
It does. And then does your alliance get tied to the crush that you have?
See, that's where it gets messy. That's where it gets messy.
But you have all the different alliances that you can have, just depending on how you want to play the game. But that loved one will get you effed up every time.
Every single time.
Every single time. All right, let's go. Next question. What was the physiological impact like for you, the isolation from family and the outside world, navigating personal dynamics with other cast members, all while trying to strategize and win the game?
It's hard to put it into words. It's like what that psychological feeling is like. It's a lot of paranoia, like, because you're always doing so many mental gymnastics. Like, trying to, you know, having conversations with people, maybe gaining a certain impression of them, but then also maybe observing them in other situations with other people and trying to, you know, draw kind of conclusions from that as well. So a lot of just trying to figure out people. And then when I do feel like I have somebody figured out or have a strong feeling about somebody, not having anybody to really trust to like bounce ideas off of and things like that. So even though I was in alliance, you know, I was talking with certain people, I wasn't telling them all of my thoughts. I wasn't telling them everything.
Yeah.
You can't do that in these games. There's certain things you have to keep to yourself. And with me, usually like I would ask a question first, you know, maybe try and see a little bit of where their head is at. And
Yeah.
depending on how much they're willing to give is going to determine how much I'm going to respond. So it was really hard. It does feel very isolating in a way when, like I said, there's no one there that you can really talk to.
Yeah.
Especially when you are having feelings of self-doubt or confusion, especially in a game like that that's meant to throw you off. It's meant to be tricky. It's not straightforward at all.
Yeah.
And you can't even, you know, really express to another person like, damn, I feel dumb as shit right now. Like, I really am scared. I really don't know where I am.
So it's a mind game within a mind game.
Yeah, it's games within games. And the mind game part of it, that is honestly one of like the hardest parts. It's hard just being away from everybody. And like I said, just not having anybody that you feel like you can really, really just talk to.
Well, I think you did great.
Yeah. It was hard, but I feel like that part of it I actually did pretty well managing.
Yes.
I was just, you know, keep it to myself, you know, however I was feeling. And I would always really look forward to like once a week, we got kind of like a rest day where we didn't film. And that would be the day where we could call home. So I would always be counting down and be like, okay, in 2 more days, I know I can call my mom, you know, and I could at least get 10 minutes to talk to somebody. Yeah.
So now on those days where you could call, you didn't get your phone back. So,
no.
Okay.
No.
So if you ain't know nobody's number or if you ain't have it written down somewhere, you want to talk to nobody.
I had to write it down. I had to give it to them.
Okay.
And they dialed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this was that secret too.
Yes.
Okay.
It was strict. It was real strict up in there.
So, question did you ever ask like your mom on that side? Like, was it a block number? Was it a private number? Like, what number called her?
Someone on the production crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She knew who it was.
Okay.
They had exchanged numbers both ways.
Okay.
Yeah. So she knew when to answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. All right. So let's see. Next question. Did they fly you home immediately, or were you able to spend time in the country once you were eliminated?
So they do not fly you home immediately. I did get to stay in Germany, the next destination, for a couple of days. I was there for either 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
And really, I just had to just like wrap up with some things with production. I did get to go out and explore Germany a bit. So that was kind of cool. Kind of got like a free little mini trip to Germany.
Okay.
Wasn't really on my list. So nothing against Germany, but it was cool to check out.
You know?
I got to spend a couple days there afterwards.
Okay. Life on the bus. Let's get into it.
Okay. Everybody wants to know about the bus.
Everybody wants to know about this bus. So you see little bits and pieces, like we saw where you sleep and we saw where you all hang out at. But what about showers? What about eating? How did that go?
Yeah, and it's funny because people do ask a lot about like eating on the bus because you never see us eat.
No.
So we did not well, let me start with showers first.
Okay.
So there were not showers on the actual bus. Instead, what we had was there was like a caravan, like a production caravan following us. And one of those had a mobile unit, which had 2 showers and 2 toilets. So that kind of like always followed with us.
Okay.
So at night when we were parked and we were allowed to get off the bus, we could use that shower.
Okay.
So that's how that worked.
Okay.
And then as far as food is concerned, we would eat breakfast in the morning off of the bus. So we'd be at our little rest stop overnight, and it had like a tent over top of it. It was gated off. It was like black everywhere, so we could not see where we were.
Of course.
And they would have some tables and chairs out, so our breakfast would be there, and then we would get on the bus. They really didn't want us to eat a whole lot on the bus, but we're greedy Americans and we was hungry. So eventually we started getting some snacks on the bus, but it just didn't make the edit. I just think I don't know, people eating, it's just not good TV, plus like the crunching and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, so we did. They fed us 3 meals a day and lots of snacks. So we always had food that was available.
Okay. Was it food that you all recognized, or was it more traditional foods that were across the pond from Europe?
Good question. They were foods that we recognized.
Okay.
They were foods that we recognized, definitely. We did have, like, for example, we did have, like, pizza. We did have Italian.
Okay.
So we did have, like, dishes that were local to certain places in Europe, but we didn't get, like, European snacks or anything like that. And whenever production would bring us food from the outside, we always refer to it as, like, the outside world. If it was something that had a label, they would take all the labels off before they gave it to us. So we never had any indication of where we were.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Smart for them.
Yeah.
Sucks for y'all, but smart
Sucks for us, yeah.
Smart for them. All right, so let's get into some of these team player questions.
Okay.
So, out of everybody on the bus, besides Allie, who was the girl's girl, who would you say would be your number 2? Like, who could you still go talk to if it wasn't Allie? Was there anybody else that you could kind of like...
Within the game?
Within the game.
Let's see. I was making good inroads with Rachel right before she went out.
Okay.
And that was one of the reasons why I had actually, like, chose to go against her. So Rachel and I, we were working up to that point. Mac and I actually had a good relationship, but Mac kept her cards close to the chest. Mac would not really reveal information. Okay. She wouldn't really share information. So even though I liked her as a person, I didn't feel like she was someone who I could get close to in the game.
Okay.
At that point, the only person that I was, like I said, trying to plant seeds with and work on next was Rachel. And me and her had good talks on the bus.
Anybody from the guy side?
To work with?
Mm-hmm.
Nah. Not really. I thought maybe I could potentially work with Rick later down the line, but Rick has some credibility issues on the bus, okay? And it wasn't just Josh calling him a snake and Josh, like, blowing up on him. There were other things that didn't make the edit. Like, for example, Mac had told me that when we were in Switzerland, Rick was trying to throw her off, and he told her that we were in Andorra.
Okay.
Mad random, right? So I'm like, dang, it just planted a seed. I'm like, he's gaming, and he's not afraid to just, like, lie to your face and try to throw you off. So I wasn't too sure if I could trust Rick, but I recognized him as a strong player.
Okay.
So that's why he was, like, kind of a consideration, if he could prove that he could be honest.
Okay. Understandable. All right, this is a good one. How do you feel about Kim saying she was traumatized by your exit?
Yeah. So I was very surprised. I was quite shocked because I didn't think I was going that crazy. And when I was addressing certain people, which it was really just my alliance, because those are the people that I was upset with. Those are the people that intentionally set me up, and then you set me up with the fake clue first, the test, and then gave me deliberately a wrong answer to ensure that I would go home. So I mainly was addressing them. I didn't address Kim. I had no beef with Kim. So before I left, I just said, like, Kim, good luck to you. You were great. It was fun filming with you, you know, whatever. I just, like, kind of wished her well. So when I heard her say that comment, it did surprise me. Because, like I said, I had no kind of ill feelings towards Kim, especially in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That it just surprised me. It surprised me. I didn't know how to.
The shocker for me was Good Riddance. That one took me out because I wasn't expecting it.
You wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it. And this is just coming from, you know, the person who, after, you know, we had got out the game and we were recounting our experiences, she was telling me that she was so hurt that she found out that I had leaked information and then I wasn't true. And she was, like, crying and things like that. So when I saw right after I got off, she's like, good riddance. And it was just kind of like the tone she said it in. I was like, dang. So, yeah.
It's just, like, really shady. Like, for all the girls comments that we said throughout the show while you were on it, to then at the end again, you know, that love alliance.
It was strong. It was strong. But yeah, I was just shocked because I didn't think that was her attitude about me going out. I thought more so she was hurt that I was her friend and, you know, I wasn't honest in how I was playing the game, and it caused me to go out, and now she doesn't have her friend anymore. But when you say good riddance, To me, that's like, girl, bye. Like, I didn't want you here in the first place.
It's like good riddance, I guess. Like,
yeah. I don't know.
I didn't like it. But
anyway.
anyway.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
It's okay. All right. Well.
It's all just a game.
It's all just a game at the end of the game. And as of right now, everybody's good. We are waiting for the last episode to see who gets put off and who wins this money.
Who wins. Yes, I mean, of course I know, but
you do. So I'm waiting on the cliffhanger to be revealed.
Yeah, by the time this is published, the world will know, and I am very happy for the winner. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm very happy for the winner. That's it.
Okay, so based off the trailer, I can ask this question. Based off the trailer, it is because I'm sorry, I haven't been keeping up since she got kicked off. It just hasn't been as exciting and entertaining. You know,
my friends, they was like, if you ain't on there, I ain't watching.
And then let me tell you, I was pissed off her whole episode, her exit episode, because I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
Although I didn't, because someone told me before I got to watch it. So in the very beginning, when she told me, it didn't register. I was like, what? Mm-hmm. She's done. Like, what are you talking about? Then later on, I'm like, I hate you.
You saw it coming all together.
Why would you tell me that they put her out? So the whole time I'm watching it, it's just cringe. It's so cringe for me. Because I'm like, I see what y'all doing to my girl.
Yeah.
I see how y'all playing this game. Yep. And I see you, Biggie. I do. Like, great for you. I see you. But you effed up for that one.
Yeah.
So it was just cringe the whole time. And my girl, I love her faces the whole show. Every episode she's in, there is a extra dramatic face.
Yes.
But that ending, when he said, Tai, me?
I was like, oh, you got me messed up. Oh, you got something mistaken. Me?
Like, you got the wrong name. Like,
I literally
they gave you the wrong cue card.
Yes.
Go check again because ain't no way.
Check the map. Like, check the map.
I think there's a glitch. There's a technical issue. Like, it didn't pin me where I said it. Cause me?
Yeah, that was pure shock. Like, me? How is it me? And the wheels just start turning. Because I'm like, wait. What did we just talk about last night with my alliance? What do we do? What, how is it me? How is it me?
So my alliance just did a okie doke.
Yeah, they pulled a fast one.
They pulled a whole fast one, which was crazy. But again, it's a game.
It's a game. We live and we learn.
And games are meant to be played.
They are meant to be played. Exactly.
So I just got played.
But my alliance, and I really did not think that I would get blindsided. That's what kind of got me. And I'm like, damn, they got me in a blind side. I would have rather just went out on my own volition just because I'm wrong, rather than someone, scheming and setting me up to go out. I was like,
and I think my favorite line at this point is, well, guess I ain't got no friends.
I was like,
pull this knife out my back. My favorite line at this point.
I was like, Jesus. Like, my mind was just all over the place. Like, what just happened? Like, literally, what just happened?
Like, ain't no way. It's just ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Like, let me replay this in my mind again, because I know he ain't just get on this bus and say, Tai. He ain't do that. Okay, well, I guess my next question from that would be, how is the host? Because he is just so handsome and just like that voice. And he gets me every time he walk on that bus.
With the leather on and the glasses, the sunglasses. Yeah. I love filming with Jeffrey. I was always like scared and nervous when he would come on the bus. Or especially just in the game, because I'm like, something's about to go down. Like, what is it now?
He got to trick up his sleeves.
But then he's so easy on the eyes. And he is fun just to be on set with. Like, he would kind of like be making jokes or like messing with us a little bit, so he's so down to earth and he's just himself. So you kind of like forget after a little while, like, oh, like this is Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Yes.
Like, this is Negan. That's what I kept saying in my head. I'm like, I cannot believe this is Negan. Like, so it's surreal, but I'm so happy that I got to film with him and meet him and everything, because he's a fun host.
It looked like it. He really did. Like,
he got a kick out of us being confused and
I believe it.
Messing up all the time. He found enjoyment in that.
But I feel like even just watching and not being biased, but although you are my friend, I feel like he enjoyed watching you play. I do. like I said, it wasn't as enjoyable after. Like I tried, I really did, and it just wasn't the same. You kind of were the smarts for a lot of them, and I think they realized that too once you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Things just weren't as great, but
yeah, all good things must come to an
they
end.
do. But hopefully, we get a new game.
Right. No blindsides. I will never be blindsided again. I will not let that happen. Like, I was so mad.
It was a blower, but it was a great show. So
it was a great experience. Like,
it was.
I had the time of my life.
It looked like it on Alps and mountain snow. Well, you didn't have to eat that nasty food, so that's a great thing.
Thank God. Yeah, thank God.
I don't know what you would have done if it was you.
We would have lost. I hate to say it, but we would have lost because the picky eater that I am and like texture,
smells.
Plus it stunk. Just in the restaurant when all that food was in front of us, it stunk so bad. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to eat any of this. None of it. So,
thinking to the future, if you could pick any reality show that's out right now, what would you want to do? What would you want to be on?
Traders. Traders.
Okay.
Definitely Traders. Number one, it's just one of my favorite games, like the Werewolf Mafia game, like the card game.
Okay.
I learned how to play that in, I think, like middle school, like summer camp or something. So I love that game. So as soon as I saw that they made a television version of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to play this. But I like Traders because it is a social strategy game and it is a game of deception.
Okay.
So can't nobody get mad that Ty lied. Okay, everybody be lying up in Traders.
It's Traders.
It's Traders. But I just really like the social aspect of the game. I love the host. I love Alan. He's so dramatic and funny. I love his outfits. So yeah, I just think that that's one that I would be good at. I think it would be like really, really stressful trying to like read people all the time, but I think I would be good at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being like on a Survivor?
Oh, I love Survivor.
You think you could do it?
Oh yeah, I could definitely do Survivor. The bugs would be tough.
Because then my next question would be Naked and Afraid.
No, hell no.
Okay,
hell
so that's too much.
Hell no. Yeah, that's extreme. No.
Okay.
Survivor, absolutely. Survivor, absolutely.
What's the other ones? Big Brother.
Big Brother, of course. Big Brother. And I really like The Mole on Netflix. Again, where you have to like solve clues and figure out who's the mole, who's the person lying. Kind of similar to Traders. I like kind of games like that where you have to like sniff people out. So I really like, The Mole as well. And Battle Camp on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, because I like the team element and the challenges are really good.
Yes.
Like they have a good mix of like mental challenges, lots of physical challenges. So yeah, Battle Camp is a good one too.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to keep our eyes open for what you appear on next. Stay tuned for sure. Okay, jumping right into what we're talking about. So, if you got invited to play on Traders, would you rather be a faithful or a traitor?
I'd rather be a traitor. I gotta be the traitor. Just because, number one, I need to have more control over my destiny or my fate in the game. I'd be damned if I was a faithful and for no reason other than let's just cause chaos, I get murdered. I would be so pissed. And like watching season 3, there were a couple players who they were emotional when they, got voted out and they were tearing up and stuff. And I get it because I would be pissed too. And yeah, I would definitely want to be a traitor. Even though being a traitor, I feel like in like the newer seasons is a little more difficult now because there's all this drama in the turret and they be turning on each other and stuff like that. But again, I feel like I learned good lessons on Destination X about alliances and alliance management. Because I did not practice any alliance management. I just kind of let things kind of be how they were. And especially when I was aware there was a certain perception that was present within my alliance, I didn't really do anything about it. So, yeah. I would do Traders. As a traitor.
All right. Okay, so next question. Are you friends with or do you still talk to any of your cast members from Destination X?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And that was honestly one of the most beautiful parts of the experience too. It's just meeting these new people and making friends with people who probably would have never crossed paths if it wasn't for Destination X. So In particular, I've become super close with Rachel since filming, and I'm so grateful for our friendship. Also, Josh has always been a really good friend to me. I'm going to be going out of town to Hawaii soon, and I'm going to see Kim. I love Kim, so it's good to see her. And after filming, I did meet up with a couple of the other castmates. So I spent time with JaNa, Shane, Allie, and Mac.
Okay. How close are you with JaNa and don't kill me, y'all, forgot his name? Peter,
yeah.
My bad.
So because I didn't film with JaNa and Peter for that long, I was honestly only on the bus with them for like 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
I didn't get to build as much of a strong connection with them, but I have reached out on social media, and Peter's, reached out back and things like that. So I feel like we're all good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No drama.
No drama.
That's a great thing. We
no
never want drama.
Here. No drama.
Good. All right. Well, keeping it moving. Next question, because we already talked about what we eat. So, and we talked about breaks and talking to our parents. So we got breaks.
Got that.
All right. So we'll talk about this one because we didn't fully get into it, but we did a little bit. Behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything that you loved behind the scenes as far as camera crews gone, not filming? Was there anything that you just loved to do when the cameras weren't on?
It's hard. I mean, love to do. Nothing's really coming to my mind because we were so limited. We didn't have electronics. We didn't have, like a whole lot of stuff to do because we. So
was it more fun? Would you say on the bus versus the behind the scenes?
I feel like for me, playing the challenges was the most fun.
Okay,
I went there to play.
Yes.
So I love games. I'm a very competitive person, so the challenges was most fun. But I could say like behind the scenes, times where we really did get to just relax, like on our off days. Those are pretty fun. Eventually, they did let us have a deck of playing cards, so we played cards. They let us have something to entertain ourselves. So we played cards. That was fun. We played multiple rounds of Uno. Rick taught me how to play rummy. I think I taught Allie how to play spades. Then we had some poker rounds going. We had a whole bunch of card games. And then also Rick had celebrated a birthday during one of our rest stops. So we had like a little mini birthday party for Rick. And they let us listen to a little bit of music. It was like just one song because music was not allowed either. But we were so happy for that. We had like beer and wine and dessert and stuff. So that was nice.
It's always the little things that just make us the happiest when everything's taken away.
Oh yeah, especially music. Like not having music. Again, it just goes into like that sensory deprivation, not being able to just like see the sunlight or see anything or where you are or hear anything. Because a lot of times when we were doing those challenges, they had to get like permits and things, and we're in sectioned off private areas away from the public. So we really were cut off from the outside world. Even when we did kind of step in the outside world, we were still in our little bubble.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see here. Because these questions are not in any type of order. So, and I go off of my head. So, which destination did you enjoy visiting the most?
I would have to say Switzerland.
Okay.
Switzerland, just because it was so beautiful. And because I feel like that's also the destination where, I mean, Paris too, but the scene, the views, the mountains, like.
Because that was beautiful.
It was breathtaking. Just, I remember first taking off my goggles and I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt so blessed to be there. I was like, I cannot believe I'm here. I'm seeing this with my own 2 eyes and I'm with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and playing the competitions. Like all these things go through your mind, but definitely Switzerland. The Swiss Alps were beautiful. And then when we were doing the Chateau Challenge where we had like the picnic table and everything, just being out there and seeing how like lush and green the mountains were. And you could see like the little like goats or whatever that are like up there climbing and sheeps. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was just so picturesque. So definitely Switzerland because it was so beautiful.
Would you say that there was one that you didn't particularly care to be at? Like you would have been over it if you known? Was there like a destination where it was just like, I like this one more?
From what I got to see, just from the challenges, I would have to probably say Amsterdam because why the hell were we in a desert? Like, it was giving nothing. It was literally giving nothing. I was like, okay, because Paris was still pretty.
Yes.
The maze, and then when we had like the little, before we did croquet, and there was like that chateau there.
Yes.
It was like nice and pretty. Amsterdam, didn't get any views, just nothing. All I got was the inside of that restaurant, which again, we're sectioned off, you know, so it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm in this nice restaurant. No. Went to my table in the back.
And of course, every place you all went to blindfolded. So
blindfolded, yep.
Had them goggles on.
And then other than that, I was just outside in that desert looking at those vases and watching everybody smash each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun times in the desert. Kind of talked about that one. Which one shocked you the most?
Oh, definitely Amsterdam. Just because, especially from that, terrain, I would never have thought. I guess I wouldn't have really thought Germany either. But Germany's really big. So I was kind of thinking, like, gotta be desert in there somewhere.
But you never think about deserts.
In Europe at all. Not really.
That would have, are we in the Middle East now? Because
yeah, where are we going? How far did we drive?
All right, so talking about alliances within the bus. Mm-hmm. Who all had an alliance? Let's start there.
So many alliances are going on. So Biggie and Shane had an alliance pretty early on. Myself, Josh, Mac, Allie, and Rick.
Okay.
Were trying to form an alliance from episode 1. We didn't give it that title yet because it was too early.
Okay.
We just got there. So we called it like a pack. We were
okay.
Like, let's just make a little pack, like 1, 2, 3, and let's get through this first, destination together. And if we all make it, then let's lock in. We all didn't make it, obviously, because of Josh.
Yes.
So I changed a lot of things. And after that, I started working with Allie. I knew that, actually, I didn't know yet that Biggie and Shane were actually working together. Until Shane approached me to join their alliance.
Okay.
And this kind of goes back to what I say about alliance management and just how you go about alliances. For me, this was my first time playing. So somebody asked me they want to formally be in an alliance with me. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, I got chose,
Friends.
We're friends. And you see value or strength in me because you want to work with me. But I was skeptical when he said him and Biggie, because in my mind, I'm like, why does Biggie want to work with me? When at that point, I really hadn't had much interaction with Biggie. So I thought it was a little, that part I wasn't too sure about, but I'm like, okay, I accept, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to go with it. So I had that alliance with them. JaNa, as we saw, JaNa was pretty close with Allie, but they didn't have an alliance. Mac didn't lock in with an alliance with anyone. And then later, Rick was able to get the alliance with Peter and JaNa. But at the same time, Rick and Biggie were forming their own alliance too. That was kind of under wraps.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what's been carrying them through a bit. Not carrying them through, but they've been supporting each other and swapping information throughout.
So having a main alliance, but then having a side alliance.
Right?
But how you do that?
Yeah.
So then do you tell your main alliance what your side alliance was talking about? Mm-mm. So then who you have loyalty to?
Nobody. At the end of the day, it really is.
I mean, it's about self because you can't split that money up with your alliance because it's still
just about you. Right. So at one point, when we were in Switzerland getting into Paris, that's when I technically had 2 alliances because I had Allie on this side and then Biggie and Shane over here. And I was always paranoid. I was always worried because I had a really good relationship with Allie on the bus. And I thought that she was going to get her feelings hurt or she wasn't going to, trust me and we were going to have a falling out if she knew that I had another alliance with the boys. So when her and Shane hooked up, I was like, I don't have to worry about that concern anymore. But now I have a new concern because now there's a showmance in place. But trying to kind of manage both alliances, Biggie's alliance with us, we were pretty aware of that. Him working with Rick was something that I heard a little bit of whispers about while I was still on the bus, but to be honest, I didn't really see it. I didn't really suspect it. It wasn't until I'm watching the show with everybody else and I do see, I'm like, okay, Biggie did. He was working with Rick on the low when needed. And he had that separate alliance going too, which I don't know if you. It's just it's a lot going on.
It is. So the bus is a normal size, type of
like
bus.
a tour bus, yeah, coach bus.
So how, with all these multiple alliances, how did you all conversate with each other but keep it from the other people on this bus?
We tried our best. I know one trick that some people would do is like where the toilet was, you had to like walk down a couple, like 3 little steps to get to the door. So if someone was sitting on that outside chair and you're like walking past them to go down to the bathroom, you can kind of whisper, like something real quick, but it has to be really, really quick.
Okay.
So for example, Shane did that with me in Switzerland.
Okay.
And I think at that point he was just telling me, I think maybe he was telling me that he thought we were in Bern. Because I think by then the whole bus kind of knew we were in Switzerland. But I do remember it was just like really quick. So we would have to do things that were discreet.
Okay.
Allie and I, we had kind of like a code to each other when we needed to talk about stuff. We would just like make up something about our nails. Be like, oh, I think I broke a nail. Or I'd be like, oh gosh, my nail hurts or something like that. We just make some kind of gesture about our nails. And that would be a signal to, okay, when we're allowed to we need to get next to each other and we need to talk. And because we need to talk, we can't make it look obvious either. So really just trying to be mindful of who you're sitting next to and for how long and what kind of conversations you're having, because perception is everything. People keep seeing the same people sit next to each other and they're crouching down and whispering. You're going to be like, oh, they're working together, because that's obvious. And then also like around bedtime when we're up by our bunks, that would be a time that we could strategize and talk more privately. Most of the time we're on the bus traveling, sitting in our seats. So it really wasn't much time, but I would try to take advantage of that in some ways if I could, just having conversations, especially in that back part of the bus where all the girls were, away from the boys. Sometimes I would have like conversations with them too.
Okay, so going into that part of the bus, how was sleeping arrangements? Because from what you see on camera, it looks like you all were all commingled together within one bus.
Yeah. Okay. Girls and guys together. Okay. Everybody's all together. And we just came up with it ourselves when we like that first moment we got on the bus. And it's just like a natural thing. Like, okay, the girl's going to be on one side, the boy's going to be on the other side. So that was easily decided. I think there was one bunk, I think it was Rick's, who, and I forgot to say this earlier, I've also developed a good friendship with Rick since filming. Okay. I didn't mean to leave you out, Rick, because I do talk to Rick quite often. But I think it was Rick's bunk where we had like this little cubby thing that was underneath where we could put our clothes and stuff. And that one back there, it was like much smaller, or didn't really like have it configured the same way. So we were like, oh yeah, I like that back part. That'll be for the boys to figure out. The girls will be on this side. I wanted it that way because I thought the boys were going to snore. Nobody snored.
That's a great
Nobody ever snored. We were all in disbelief. And sometimes, living with men and stuff, sometimes
it's a little funky.
But for the most part, we were good. So it wasn't too bad living on the bus. We did have very, very small, living quarters, and that cubby, kind of section, it was just as long and as deep as the actual kind of bunk was, which is just like a twin bed. So we didn't have a whole lot of space. So sometimes it would be kind of annoying, like having to pull out, everything to get to the back for me to get a certain pair of shoes, but just minor inconveniences. I like the experience.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a fun experience overall.
Yeah. Euro trip.
It's giving elevated backpacking.
Kind of, yeah.
Elevated backpacking kind of thing.
Ish. Yeah, some other stuff thrown in there too.
So, okay, kind of going back just a little bit, and then we may leave the bus. The showering part, you said it was 2.
It was only 2. That sucked.
It sounds like it, because how long would it take for everybody to get through their showers if it's only 2?
Some people would shower at night, some people would shower in the morning. Okay. So that helped balance it. But there were some times, because I'm a shower at night person, and I think kind of most people were having to wait for a shower because there were only 2.
So would y'all sit there and call shotgun or first, or do rock, paper, scissors to figure out who get the shower first, or was it a list?
No, it was just whoever gets it first gets it.
Okay.
And if you gotta wait, then you gotta wait. Yeah, I mean, we all got along when it came to stuff like that. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was the mirror, the vanity mirror that we had for makeup and stuff, that got crowded because
It was only one?
It was only one. It was only one, and you saw multiple beat faces on the show.
All right, let's see here. Next question. So, since they decided to put my girl off this bus, what have you been up to?
Oh, okay. I've been up to a few different things. Life after Destination X. It's been pretty good. It's been pretty fun. I've been having doing a couple just hosting gigs and things locally.
Yes.
I am pursuing real estate, so I'm still doing my legal thing too, but I'm trying to transition out of that a little bit and just kind of focus on some other things.
Okay.
Like our podcast as well.
Yes.
I love doing this with you.
I love this.
Yeah.
So on the show, you had said that you were both a lawyer and a flight attendant. Are you still doing life as a flight attendant?
Unfortunately, no. I'm going to say that was the only, really the only bad thing, about going on this show is that at the time when I was applying and being casted, I didn't have a lot of seniority at my airline because I was new. I just started. I was there for about a year. And I did not qualify for a voluntary leave of absence. And because I am an honest person, I just resigned and left on good terms rather than
we want good
fired.
karma. So
yes, we want good karma. So I did it that way. So I am not flying now. I really, really want to go back to it though.
So to do that, you would have to go back to school and do the training program all over.
Yeah, I would have to reapply. The application process takes months, and then do training, which can be anywhere from 4 to I think as long as 8 weeks.
Okay.
And then I can fly again. So I'm just waiting for applications to open up again.
Okay. So. Are you gonna go back to the same airline, or are we gonna try a new one this time?
I think I'm going to try a new one this time.
Okay.
Yeah, something new.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that for you. I do. All right. So let's see. What other questions we got? We're almost done. All right. Which destination would you like to go back and visit outside of a competition?
I guess I'm going to it's saying go back, so I'll just limit it to the 4 countries that I went to. I'm going to say Switzerland.
I knew you were going to say Switzerland. I knew you were going to say Switzerland.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty, and it's just calming.
Yeah.
And especially when we were out there, it's the air is just so fresh and clean and crisp, and I don't know, I just like it. Just the smell of it, just everything. But I would really want to go back to Switzerland.
Okay, so we're going to jump ahead just a little bit because, again, I said I haven't been watching. What are some of the other destinations that they've been to? At some point, I'll go watch it. But
yeah, so they went to Munich,
okay,
Germany, and I did my own Germany thing. Don't really want to go back there. I had enough of Germany. I had my experience. I had my German experience. And then after Germany, oh my gosh, where did they go? Venice.
Okay.
And there were 2 episodes in Venice.
Okay.
Which is a little different.
Every
Venice
episode is
on my list. I would like to see the floating city.
Okay.
The gondola ride, all the stuff. I heard that there's not a whole lot to do in Venice outside of just take a gondola ride. But I feel like it's something you have to do. It's just a bucket list thing. You got to do it. And let's see, what was after Venice? They just were in Monaco. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. You haven't missed that much.
Okay.
You haven't missed that much. So yeah, Monaco, yeah, I'll go there. I don't know on whose money, but
we're going to find them.
We're going to find them.
Okay. So out of all the ones that you didn't get to go to, which one? Monaco?
Yeah, Monaco. Okay. But even out of what I did
go
to, yeah, Switzerland, but also Rome, because I haven't seen the Colosseum, and I need to see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leaning Tower of Pisa, all those good things.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to do my own tour, Destination X.
Because going there, because you all were you all able to experience the city after you all figured out? No, it was back on the bus and on to the next.
Or, yeah, we were on the bus. When Jeffrey read the eliminations, we're on the bus. So the person getting eliminated gets off. But the rest of us stay on and we keep driving. That's it. We're going to the next stop.
So no getting to experience gelato, no getting to get some pasta. pasta.
No nothing.
Whatever
No
they bring
nothing.
you on the bus.
Yeah, that's all we had. So yeah,
So,
I would like to
yes.
go back to really
Just
all of the
experience.
destinations and actually get to experience them. So, like, for
Versus-
example, France. That was my first time ever being in France or Paris. But do I feel like I've really been to Paris?
I mean, we saw a can dance. So,
yeah,
you
I mean,
know.
I was there. I was outside. Like, I was running around in the maze.
But to actually enjoy the Eiffel and to be able to
Yeah.
enjoy the maze, not trying to figure out what's at the end and if I'm going to
Yeah.
get a red herring or if I'm going to
Right.
get the truth.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think to go back to all of them just to be like, I got to
I've got
experience,
to really,
not just I was here
experience
as a game trip, as a game
Mhm.
show. Because like my mother will go traveling, and because we had a layover, she's like, oh, you've been to Paris? When? We had a layover. Ma, that don't count.
6 hours ain't it. 6 hours ain't it.
It ain't gonna be 6, it'd be 3 and she say you been there.
Oh, no.
Like, ma'am. So yes, you gotta go back and experience them.
For sure.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Next question. Was it just editing, or did the women really treat JaNa a little weird?
Okay. So, but this should be addressed.
Actually, hold on. Before you answer that one.
Okay.
Before we get to that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
When JaNa showed up on this, no, not even when she showed up on the bus. When you saw her on the walkway
Mm-hmm.
and in the bus,
Mm-hmm.
did you really not know who she was?
No. And I feel like, I don't know why people don't believe me sometimes, or it seems like inconceivable, but I didn't know who she was.
Because before you saw her, did you know anything about Love Island?
No. I mean, I knew of it. Like that
Mhm.
summer, I remember always seeing on my TikTok, like, people reposting stuff. So I always
Yes.
saw like some girl crying, and I would see them walking around their bikinis and, stuff like that. But I kept seeing like retweets or reposts of like lots of drama. So I knew it was a show that was going on and they were looking for love, but I had never watched it. So
Didn't know the premise of it, didn't know the characters. So when
mm-mm.
that beautiful, gorgeous chocolate girl was standing on that walkway, just, oh, you knew.
I thought she was just pretty.
Pretty girl.
I thought she was
pretty girl, give me a clue.
I literally thought she was
You
a
know,
model.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, you up to your shenanigans again.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but he really was.
He really was that time. It was such a setup. I was like, Jeffrey, like, I like you, but like, why are you doing this to me?
Okay. So, now back to how they treated her. Was it?
Yes. Was it just editing? I will say that when JaNa and Peter both came on the bus, the editing shows more of the negative reactions towards JaNa, but universally, the group was not happy to see that we had 2 players.
Yes.
So it's not like though that energy was like so much only focused towards JaNa. That is what was shown in the edit though. But nobody was happy except for really kind of like Rick, because he saw an opportunity. I was already primed to the information, so I was fine, Shane was fine, but everybody else was in shock. And no, they didn't want them there. It wasn't really, it was pretty much how you saw it. I think that shock it took a little bit of time for that to wear off.
Mhm.
So, the energy was kind of like, okay, hey, yeah. Like, it's like you're not really happy about it, but you're like, I got to deal with this now type of vibe.
Mm-hmm. And pretty much it kind of seemed like everybody else on the bus as well, they didn't really recognize JaNa or know that she was from Love Island.
No.
And then what about Peter? Did any of you all recognize him, know who he was?
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple people recognized him. I recognized him from Traders. I didn't know him from The Bachelor, but I knew him from Traders, and like maybe like 2 or 3 other people did.
Okay.
But still, it's just like, but now you're on the bus. So, like I said, they weren't really happy about it. Not only because I had previously met JaNa, but because I had watched the French version of the show and the Dutch version of the show. Both times they also introduced new players.
Okay.
So me going into Destination X, I always had that in the back of my mind that there might be a twist and they might bring in a new player. So I was mentally primed for that anyways. And I was always of the mind of, if we have this decision or if we have this twist, I want to try and just use it to my advantage.
Yes.
So it wasn't, like I said, for me, I was just kind of like, okay, we just got to make the best of it.
Yes. All right. So next question. Did you know what the game was going to be like before you actually got there?
No, but I felt like I had somewhat of an idea because I watched the previous versions that were filmed in the Netherlands and in France. So by watching those, I feel like it gave me, like I said, just like a bit of an idea, but I really did walk in like not knowing what to expect because I had even looked up like the production companies and everything, and I was like, okay, it seems like this and this. I said no, but there's this different. I'm like, there's going to be new people on this show making this show.
You have stated that you like to be prepared.
I do like to be prepared. So I try to give myself as much information as possible, but really every day I had no idea what was going to happen.
Understandable.
Yeah.
But you tried to prepare as best you could before.
Yeah.
So, and that's all you can really do. So, well, next question. So, all right. So, in one of the, I think it was the first episode, you had this little device on your arm that people were kind of confused about, trying to figure out what it was, what you had on.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that little contraption on your arm.
Okay, that is, I think it's technically a volleyball arm sleeve. I bought it from Amazon. Because of this, I have this ugly scar on my arm. So right before,
it's actually getting better though. It's
still there. It doesn't bother me as much now, but literally right before filming, I was working a flight to Milan to prepare for the show. I picked up a flight to Milan. So I knew I needed to take my ass to Europe before getting on this show. And I was working a galley position on the plane, and I was pulling out breakfast.
Okay.
And I burned the shit out of my arm on the tray. I was like holding it like this. And I just burned the shit out of my arm. So to protect it from like further like scarring and it getting worse, the doctors had told me to keep it covered in the sun. So whenever we would go outside, I would put it on.
Okay. All right. We talked about that. All right. So out of all the challenges, what was your favorite?
Favorite challenge. I think my favorite challenge, it's a tie between the Swiss Alps, the mountains. I really like that one.
Oh, that was my favorite. He's like, it's a Beethoven dog. I don't know what type of dog that is. It look like a Beethoven dog.
It's a Beethoven dog. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all knew what I was talking about, though. Beethoven.
Millennials knew. Yeah. It's a Beethoven dog.
It's a Beethoven dog.
So, yes.
Between that one and Paris, the maze challenge.
Okay.
And I really liked both of those challenges because they were a combination of a physical component as well as mental.
Yes.
So we had to race, we had to do things, but then we had clues, we had to figure them out and decipher them. So I like both of those the best. I also just like being outside. I'm sorry, but being in that bus, like trapped all the time, it was nice to just like be outside, play outside, race outside. Like I felt like I was really in a competition, having it be timed and it be about speed and things like that. So
it seemed like you and Shane were put together a couple different times.
We were.
Did you like that? Did you like that partnership for your challenges?
I did because Shane had what I lacked, which was the speed and the athleticism.
Yes.
So I felt we were a good pair in both of the challenges that we ran together as teams.
Yes.
Because going back to Rome when we were in the well challenge,
yes,
we had that. Me and Shane, we had our strategy. I said, look, you got the daddy long legs, shoot ahead of me, okay? Run. Get those first. Figure out what's what. I'll get up there. I'll focus on trying to decipher, the riddle or the clue or whatever. But he's super fast. So having him in those types of challenges were always really beneficial.
The maze too. Got to those.
And the maze, because he got
to them little spots quick.
I hate watching that scene because there's like one where I'm like,
again, one of them faces.
I'm barely moving and I just look so out of shape. And I'm like, oh gosh. Man, I was winded trying to keep up with him. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you had him.
Yes.
Okay. Which one of the challenges did you despise the most? Despise.
I would have to say the Amsterdam challenge, the eating in the sky, because what you mean, I did all this work and I went from my team and now they get to decide whether or not I get the information.
I hated that for you. Like, what?
You want to talk about intuition. My gut was telling me don't win because me and Biggie weren't that close no more. He was being weird. He was being distant. And I wasn't in an alliance or working with Rick. So I'm like, what incentive do they have to really tell me the truth?
Yeah.
It's intuition. I was in that restaurant, and at one part, the edit goes super quick, but Ali and I's teams, we were tied up, and I was this close to helping her and saying F my last round of this so that she would win, because I trusted she would tell me more than the boys. But then that damn competitive spirit, I was like, man, I ain't losing on purpose. I was like, I'm about to win again.
And that you did.
And that I did.
And that you did. And
at
they
what
got
cost,
played.
though? Exactly. At what cost, though? It's hard, but I like being in these kind of situations, like these games, because you're put in these situations where you have to make these choices, and you kind of like learn. Like with me, like I didn't trust my intuition, you know, and that cost me. So I feel like that was a lesson to me to trust my intuition, you know.
We live and we learn.
Yep.
It was a game that had to be played.
There's multiple ways to play it.
You know, and unfortunately, my girl just got played. But it is what it is. I'm so proud of you for doing it, though.
Thank you.
I am. What has helped you more for this show? Being a flight attendant or being a lawyer?
That's a good question. I like that one, too. I actually think my career as a flight attendant helped me more than my career as an attorney.
Yes.
Just because being on the bus, being in that environment, traveling around with a bunch of people in a small space that's enclosed and you can't leave or get out, I was already used to that.
You are.
And I was, you know, just accustomed to, again, being in those types of situations with people I may or may not like, but we all have to get along, you know, make it out here together. So I feel like that helped me just like mentally, just kind of like dealing with it, because there was some friction between other castmates. You see a little bit of it with Peter and Shane in some later episodes. There was some friction with some other castmates. Some of it wasn't shown, so I'm not going to put it out there. I'm not going to be messy, but for other people, it was harder for them to just like be in that environment and like just constantly be around people that you're just like, ugh, get me out of here. So I think like that, and then just like also just like my people skills in being a flight attendant, versus when I think about, you know, skills as a lawyer, you know, critical thinking and things like that, deductive reasoning. I mean, those are skills that I already just kind of naturally have. But in my career as a lawyer, like going to court and arguing with people and writing motions and, you know, whatever.
Yes.
I don't think that really helped. I think flight attendant was more helpful.
I could see that for sure. Next question. How did you get picked to be on Destination X?
Okay, I got casted through Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, through Instagram. And I can't go into a lot of details about the casting process, but I can say that it was multiple rounds. I had to talk to a lot of different people, meet a lot of different members of the production team. And I wouldn't say like pass tests, but we did have to have like a physical exam. They have to make sure you're in good enough health.
Yes.
To do physical challenges. Yeah.
Those challenges.
For real.
Going up a mountain. Carrying Kim.
Yep, carrying Kim. I was dying. Like, because look, you saw who was pulling that sled.
So yes, there absolutely is a physical component to this.
Yeah, but really just doing those different interviews and things like that, and being able to medically qualify for it. That's how I got selected to be on the show.
Okay. Yeah. So, going back to, you know, being able to coexist and be in a metal, you know, contraption for so long. How long exactly was filming from beginning to your end that you actually had to be around these people 24/7?
I was in the game, so the total filming was just about, I think, almost 5 weeks, and I was in the game for a little over 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not super long, but let me tell you, 7 days is enough for me around people. So
yeah, believe me, with other castmates, they were getting over it. They were starting to feel it.
I could see that.
Like I said, I'm adaptable. So I feel like for me, I'm like, I'm okay. Like, even though certain things like this, like, you know, waiting on the shower is annoying, and, you know, I only have like this little cubby for my stuff, and I'm constantly have to pull it. Minor inconveniences. For me, like, I'm fine just
For some
about
people,
anywhere.
that's minor. For some, that's major.
Some that's major. You're right.
And it'd be like 24 hours. I'm over it.
Yeah.
So, but I like that. So 2 weeks, not terrible.
Not too bad. Not too
No,
bad.
and 5 weeks overall. I mean, at that point, yes, somebody might get murdered. That is a lot of time. But
the
also,
good thing, there's
people.
less people.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. And that was the other part about JaNa and Peter coming on. Because at that point, we had gotten down to 7.
But you had only gotten rid of.
We got rid of 3 people.
Okay.
And then you added 2. So it felt like it just put us back to like right after Josh's elimination when we're at 9. And we're like, now the bus is filling back up again. You know, because it was a little nice when it was thinning out a little bit. You have a little bit more options of where to sit or having a little bit more space because not every single seat has to be taken up. And I think somebody did switch bunks too. When people were getting eliminated, we like moved around a little bit. So yeah, and then when you had 2 more people coming back on, it's like we back up to a full house.
You know?
It just makes you feel like you've been making progress towards something and then it's all taken back.
Take 2 steps forward to get 4 steps pushed back.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we are almost done with these questions.
Okay.
No, I'm lying. We are done.
Good.
We're done.
And nothing too spicy or salacious in there.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to go crazy. Not today.
Not today.
I mean, you added enough spiciness for all of us. You know, that little booty cheek hang, was out in the bunk on the bus.
Oh,
so that was spiciness enough.
That shocked me. Out of everything, that shocked me the most. Because why was I exposed like that? Had me flashing.
I mean,
I look good, but
it did.
Just wasn't expecting it.
Out of all the edits and all the things y'all took out, y'all left that in.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay though.
That's
Your
all
booty
right.
was cute. It was
Yeah,
hot.
I know.
So yes, for the amount of time that you were on there, you did great.
Thank you.
I was
Aw.
really sad
Yeah.
they put your ass off that bus because it really just wasn't for me. And maybe I'm biased, but I miss the faces. Like it's the faces, the drama, just all of it was gone.
Yeah.
Everybody's leaving, but you were gone, so it just wasn't exciting anymore. But I will go watch it because I have to see who wins.
It's a good winner.
I believe you. I believe you. So,
Well, this was fun. Thank you all so much for listening.
yes.
And if there are a couple more questions that are not similar to anything else that I've already answered, then I'm happy to answer those as well. Just let me know.
I feel like we went through a lot, but
We did go through a lot. We've been talking for a while.
But I always love talking to you.
Same.
And Destination X, we had to talk about this.
Yes, we had to do this one together. So
Because there were so many questions. You're very welcome. There's so many questions. I love how people are recognizing you, though.
Me too. It's exciting.
The airport, Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
Like, I love that for
It's
you.
exciting. It doesn't happen super often, but when it does, I'm always like, oh, I'm just so happy. I'm like, yes, it's me. Hi, you want a picture?
But I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. It really is.
So I guess the biggest question would be if right now in this moment, if you
Mhm.
got offered application for a flight attendant or another reality show
Oh, shit.
right in this moment,
Which show? Just one of the ones that I really want?
let's go with Traders.
Show.
Well,
I'm taking the show.
I'm not mad at you for that decision.
Again.
because
Like,
I mean, flight attendant will always be there.
it'll always be there. That's something that I can always go back to versus doing a show like this. It really is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So
And
if
they never come back around when you
Right.
say no.
Exactly. I ain't turning nothing down.
So yes.
Mm.
All right, well, traders, you heard it here. Come find Ty. Yep, call her.
Call me. You have my number. Okay, we're done.
We're done.